We're continuing the story of John Futch, and in following in his footsteps, it is something that we do at the Civil War Institute Conference, which meets every June. We make it a point to take the attendees on the battlefield and to share with them the stories of these individual soldiers. John Futch and his brother Charlie were in this vicinity on the late afternoon of July the 2nd. They participated in an attack that swept up the hillside off to my left front. That, of course, is to Lower Culp's Hill. That was the Union right flank. It was lightly defended on the evening or afternoon of July the 2nd. During that advance, John and Charlie were on the ground. They were loading their weapons when a Union bullet struck Charlie in the head, and when he turned to face John, his mouth was moving, but no words were coming out. John instantly knew that the wound was likely fatal. He carried Charlie off the field behind the lines toward us, and I've always imagined it's probably somewhere in this vicinity where John put Charlie to the ground, and for the remainder of that evening and into July the 3rd, he was by his brother's side. Charlie died in the early morning hours of July the 3rd. John, as you can imagine, was devastated. He buried his brother on the field, and in his grieving, he expressed again to a comrade who put to paper John's thoughts that he felt so badly that he could not have a proper coffin for his sibling, and that he knew that he would leave his brother here, likely never to see him again. When the Army of Northern Virginia, with John Futch, returned to Virginia after the Gettysburg battle, John dictated another letter. He said this to a comrade: "We had a hard fight in Pennsylvania. We lost all of our boys nearly there. Charlie got killed, and he suffered a great deal from his wound. He lived a night and a day after he was wounded. We seen hard times there in Pennsylvania, but we got enough to eat there. But we don't now in Virginia. As to myself, I get enough, for I don't want nothing to eat hardly, for I am almost sick all the time and half crazy. I never wanted to come home so bad in my life, but it is so that I cannot come at this time. But if we come down south, I will try to come home anyhow, for I want to come home so bad that I am homesick. I want you to keep Charlie's pistol, and if I ever get back, I will keep it." Thomas and Robert Ramsey both got wounded, and they was left with the Yankees. But I hope that we will be lifted to come home without a wound, for I have seen so many wounded and died. I stayed with Charlie until he died. He never spoke after he was wounded until he died. I never was hurt so in my life. I would rather that it would have been myself.